Hi, I'm Amber Gilly, and I'm going to be talking today about how we can use some of the new features of Zoho combined with some of the pre-existing ones and really map out a journey for how our business flow is going to work. Now, I'm using an example because I've got a demo database here using the insurance industry. I think it's something that most of us are familiar with. I'm going to start with an online application. So we're going to complete the application. Now, these applications can be completely customized. Any questions you need to ask can be asked. You can keep it short so that you at least just get that lead, or you can make it pretty extensive. So it's up to you. I'm just going to quickly complete this. Might as well make myself younger. Just fill in some sample information. And of course, this is a life insurance example. We can do any sort of insurance, and the questions can be contingent on what type of insurance they're applying for. So let's just see. We're going to throw in a couple of options here just to complete the form. I'm completely guessing at what someone might want if you were an insurance broker. Go for critical illness, terms and conditions. I'm a big fan of making people acknowledge and give you permission. Okay, so once that's done, so this is the client that's just filled this in on your website. Now I'm putting the insurance guy hat on. I'm the insurance guy and I have my Zoho database here and I'm collecting leads from my web form. So here's my Zoho home. And of course, if you're familiar with Zoho, you know that we have leads, contacts, and accounts. So in this case, it's just someone that's expressed interest. We're going to go over to the leads area. Let's just do a little refresh here. And there's Testy McTesterson, because that person just completed the online application. So if I want to see more information here, I can click on the name and we'll take a look at the record. You can see that everything flowed in there perfectly. If I go down to the address information, the application information, it calculated the age. Oh, I like it. That's a great calculation. Application status at this point is nothing because it's waiting for approval. So I can click on here to respond to the approval. Of course, I'm sure there's a notification in my email telling me that I need to approve this application. I can add comments, looks healthy. I can approve, I can reject, or I can delegate it to someone else. So if this is someone else's specialty, I can pass it on to them. So I'm going to click on approve. Now, once I have approved it, it is now going to enter a completely different phase. The application status is pre-approved. And in the meantime, our client is probably getting a couple of emails. So let's go and check out the emails now, keeping in mind that I put my own email address in there. All right, so the first email I received is just an acknowledgement. We received your application. Thanks so much, and we're just going to review it. And the next one is because we approved it so quickly, we have pre-approved your application, but we need a couple things from you. So now the nice thing with Zoho is it'd be very easy to program a portal where if you are looking for copies of a driver's license, passport, whatever, you could have clients click on a link to a portal which would allow them to upload their documents, which would then come to you for approval. And once you approve them, they can attach in and upload into that client's record. I haven't done that here because I just wanted to throw a demo together with the new features, but it's pretty cool. So now let's just go over back to, we're going to put our insurance guy hat on again. And here I am in the leads area, but Testy is no longer here. Testy is not a lead anymore because he's been pre-approved. So if I go over to the contacts area, I can see Testy McTesterson right here. So if I click on his name, it will show me his contact record. So I can scroll through and just have a look at all of the details here. If there's anything that I need to update, maybe I've had a phone conversation with Testy, I can update that at the time. But basically everything has come across. You'll also see that we have an attachment over here. So if I click on that, that's just showing us the application that Testy filled in. So not that we really need that because all of the details made it directly into the CRM, but it's a nice feature. It's also created an insurance record for Testy. I've actually utilized the deals module. In this case, any deals that we're making, because it's an insurance demo database, they're all going to be insurance deals. So I can click on this insurance that it has created, and it's basically so we've got a contact called Testy McTesterson, but we've also got an insurance deal on the go, and that's something that needs to be on our radar. Right now, it is in the application submitted phase, and there are several different phases that we can work through. But basically, you know, it's all the details have carried over. We know that the application is pre-approved. We can enter more details if we need to. We're ready to activate the policy whenever that happens. But there is something that I've learned from working with insurance brokers. I understand that when they receive an application, they need, and I don't know if it happens with life insurance necessarily, but I know that it happens with auto insurance. If I get someone applying for auto insurance, I then need to send that information out to several different insurance companies and get them to quote me on it. So that's something that I've also automated here. I created a module called Insurance Companies. So now we've got leads, contacts, accounts, and a separate module just for insurance companies. So over here, this is quite simple. I've only added 4 insurance companies: Manulife, Sun Life, Cooperators, Desjardins. Each of them has their own contact record. And very, very basic information. We can check off the different type of insurance that they offer. And depending on the type of insurance that they offer, they may be sent a quote. So let's just go back over to Testy McTesterson's insurance deal over here. And if I'm ready to send this quote out, basically whichever insurance companies I have in my database that offer life insurance, they will be sent a request to quote. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to click on this little send for quote button, and it's just double checking. It's just for critical illness. Are there any other types that we're applying for here? And we can also add something to the description. If there's nothing, we can just put nothing, but I'm going to put Testy is buying a new business and will require CI as part of the contract. I don't know. So all that information is going to go to all of the different insurance companies. They're going to be quoting this for us. And when I click on save, something magical happens. So I'm going to go over to my email now, and we'll see what sort of email. So keep in mind, I am the insurance company here. So there were 2 different insurance records that we had. There was, I think, Jane Doe and John Smith. So each of these insurance companies have now received a quote request. So, dear John, please provide a quotation for critical illness for the following applicant. We've got all the information in there, and we've got that little disclaimer that he's buying a new business. Exactly the same information went to Jane. If we had 50 different companies that we were getting it quoted by, they would all receive the exact same quote respect. I understand this is a very cheesy template. I just, you know, it can be made to look however you need it to look. But the nice thing is it's in the body of the email. They don't have to open an attachment, which I see as a positive. The next step would be, we can start requesting documents from the client, whether we need a passport or driver's license, whatever, that can all be configured. But if I click on this little request documents area, it's just letting us know your client's going to receive an email reminder to provide their outstanding documents. Click on save. And assuming all goes well, assuming we've received all the documents that we needed, we can now complete the contract. And again, it's going to ask us what proof do we have. You can enter more details there, and we're going to have a policy number to enter too. So at that point, we're at the insurance delivered stage. There are, of course, this is not over. He's got an active policy right now, but when the renewal is up, we need to make sure we get in touch with him. There are so many different automations that we can add into this. And it's all been done through the couple of new features we have. There is the blueprint area, where we've just sort of got a very, very basic flow chart here, forcing us from stage to stage. We also use the approval process, where we can decide what happens if, like, what needs to be approved, what happens when it's approved, what happens when it's rejected, and the command center, which links our different modules. This is what helped us to push Testy McTesterson from the lead status into the contact status. And again, these things can be huge. I've done a very, very basic one for demonstration purposes, but I think they're great. The amount of automation that we can do now with Zoho, it feels like it's limitless. So I hope you enjoy using these new features. If you have any questions, please do reach out.